Good evening. My name is Altaric Bullock, and my department has been tasked with creating a cybersecurity video for up and coming professionals, which was tasked upon my department by the Chief Information Officer, as in this case, for our hospital organization. And I'm going to be expanding upon my C-suite presentation about the various threat actors and which ones are the greatest threat to the organization, and the difference between a threat and a vulnerability, and two different types of attacks that each threat actor may commit against the hospital or other organizations. I want to start by going the threat actors that I identified in my C-suite presentation were script kiddies, cyber criminals, cyber terrorists, and other threat actors such as hacktivists and insider threats. Out of those threat actors, the greatest ones that pose the greatest threats were state-sponsored actors, cyber criminals, and other threat actors such as script kiddies, terrorist groups, hacktivists, and insider threats. Potential system attacks for advanced persistent threats are exploiting software vulnerabilities, malware deployment, and supply chain attacks, which targets an organization's infrastructure. Cyber terrorists might perform attacks that include targeting critical infrastructure, such as power grids, financial networks, transportation systems, and phishing and social engineering attacks, such as phishing emails, text messages, and websites. Script kiddies may use attacks such as SQL injections, defacing websites, and DOS attacks. Cyber criminals utilize DDoS, malware, zero-day exploits, DNS spoofing, and cross-site scripting. Hacktivists, they may use doxing, data theft, and information leaks and website defacement. Insider threats, those are malicious insiders. They can potentially initiate system attacks such as data theft, fraud, and espionage. A difference between a threat and a vulnerability. A threat is basically a potential danger or event that could exploit a vulnerability, as opposed to a vulnerability, which is a weakness or flaw that can be exploited by the threat. Basically, a good way and a good analogy between the two is thinking of a vulnerability as a weak point in the system, and a threat as something that could be taken advantage of by that weak point. Two different attacks that can be performed by advanced persistent threats, from most serious to the least serious, are attacks on critical infrastructures, with it being the most serious, and the least serious being persistent infiltration and data filtration. Cyber terrorists might use ransomware attacks as their most serious, and basic data breaches without immediate clinical impact as their least serious attacks. Script kiddies are more interested in social engineering and phishing, and website defacement as their least serious types of attacks. Cyber criminals may use malware attacks with patient safety risks and business email compromise as their least serious, and hacktivists may use critical infrastructure attacks as their most serious type of attacks, and anonymous blogging and information sharing as their least type of attacks. That's pretty much the presentation. Hopefully you learned a lot from the different types of threat actors that were covered in my C-suite presentation. Thank you very much.